Welcome to Naturally Inspired Radio, where we expose what's broken in the healthcare system, connect you to real health solutions, and inspire you to take back control of your life. We want to help you feel empowered, informed, and free to live naturally without fear, confusion, or dependency. Download our latest book on real solutions for health at naturallyinspiredradio.com. Naturally Inspired Radio is a nationally syndicated show broadcast on over 100 radio stations, online platforms, video channels, and podcast feeds. Follow us on your favorite platform today, hit that like button, leave a comment, and engage in our special live stream chats, Monday through Friday, 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. Visit naturallyinspiredradio.com to learn more, register for our weekly giveaway, and explore past episodes. You can also connect directly with Tammy, follow her on all major social media platforms, and discover more about our featured guests and trusted radio partners. Are you looking for better health? Work with Tammy today and take the first step toward a healthier, more empowered lifestyle. Schedule your complimentary 30-minute lifestyle assessment to explore personalized guidance on nutrition, movement, toxin-free living, and natural beauty without pharma. Get started now and discover Tammy's preferred health products at naturallyinspiredstore.com or text Tammy directly 720-303-8868. Love the show and want to support the movement? Head over to naturallyinspiredradio.com and click on the support tab. There you'll find all the ways you can get involved. Join our Naturally Inspired community, become a preferred customer, attend one of our amazing live events, get your backstage pass for exclusive access, and connect to all things naturally inspired. Thank you for tuning in today. Now sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
Did you know that a single collagen supplement could support your heart health, help protect against EMF exposure, and reduce inflammation all at the same time? Our preferred foundational collagen not only supports radiant skin and joint mobility, but also promotes heart health, reduces inflammation, strengthens hair and nails, provides added protection against the effects of EMF exposure, and so much more. Our favorite collagen is super absorbable and easy to take. Just 1 tablespoon in the morning and another in the evening for maximum benefits. Here's what our listeners have to say.
This collagen is so easy to take, I've noticed a huge difference in my hair and nails after just a few weeks.
Since I started using Tammy's preferred collagen, my joints feel more flexible and my skin looks smoother.
Try it today at naturallyinspiredradio.com/collagen. When you purchase from Naturally Inspired, you get access to our group health coaching call and so much more. Go to naturallyinspiredradio.com/collagen.
Are you ready to stay informed and inspired 24/7? Tune in to Naturally Inspired Radio anytime, anywhere. Visit naturallyinspiredradio.com, or for the best mobile experience, download the Simple Radio app. Search for Naturally Inspired Radio, save it to your favorites, and click on the graphic to listen instantly. Catch live broadcasts, revisit past shows, dive into long-form podcast conversations, and discover rare, censored presentations by leading health experts. Plus, explore documentaries uncovering the hidden truths of occult and esoteric history. Stay connected, stay inspired. Naturally Inspired Radio is always at your fingertips. Tune in now. For health questions or comments, text Tammy directly at 720-303-8868. naturallyinspiredradio.com.
The information and other content provided on this radio show or in any linked materials is provided for informational purposes only, not intended and should not be construed as medical advice. It is not a substitute for professional medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment.
Welcome. It is time for Naturally Inspired Radio. I am so happy you are joining me today. It is another really beautiful day here in northern Colorado. And, it's actually a rare moment when I get to have my house to myself. And I like it that way. Somebody around here, somebody's always coming or going, or, especially my son and I are very loud laughers. So there's always a lot of laughter around here, a lot of banging around, a lot of noise. And since my daughter has left, it's definitely noticeably quieter, but it's still rare that I get a moment where I have the house to myself. And this morning I had the house to myself, and I just sat out on the front steps, which is also something I don't normally do. I usually go to the back deck. But this morning I decided to go to the front steps because it was early and the sun, in the east here, I wanted to kind of be on that side of the house. And I took my daughter's little dog out with me, and I just sat there without my phone, and I was just kind of taking in the beauty around me. We have farmland all around us, but the sky was so open and blue this morning, and the sun was so gorgeous. And there was dew kind of, just covering everything because we've had a lot of rain here lately. And it was just so fresh and clean. And I just have so much gratitude for living on the earth, that this is where we get to live. And when people talk about going to Mars and they talk about, I'm like, yeah, see you later. Go ahead. Please go. If you don't like it here, by all means, head on out. But please leave this for us. That's just a moment of gratitude I wanted to share with you today. Got a great show for you today. I'm going to bring back the old because I feel like nobody's talking about this. And it is, drum roll, the Great Reset. Remember when we used to be talking about the Great Reset all the time? We were talking about, the World Economic Forum and the Great Reset and what was happening and blah, 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 blah. And, I think since the election, especially, we haven't heard those terms as much. And so I'm not here to black pill you, of course. You know me, I'm not a black piller whatsoever. But I want to remind you that this World Economic Forum is something that functions in itself, and although we have, great things happening in our country and whatnot, this agenda is still very much at play. So I want to revisit that and remind you of a few things. I actually had, I had an interesting time going back in my files and to pull clips from, clips I was playing years ago. And revisiting them, I'm like, oh my gosh, that's right. And here we are, and some of that stuff has already happened. So, nothing like the present to kind of revisit that stuff and, just make sure that we're staying up on it and that we're recognizing it when we see it coming at us. Good news, because Dr. Ben Carson has been appointed the National Nutrition Advisor. And I think that's fantastic. So we'll talk about that. Also, YouTube is making some changes. And I guess they're going to let some people back on. They were going to let some people back on. What is wrong with YouTube? I bet I can guess. I bet you can guess too what is wrong with YouTube. But it's this weird thing that I have to struggle with because, just personally, I am so passionate about this message, right? Changing the culture of health in this country. This is what I want to do. I want to make a real impact on helping people understand that they are in control and should take personal responsibility for their health. And so the more places I can get out to spread this message, to connect people to real solutions for health and empower them, of course I want to do it, right? But YouTube kicked me off a long time ago. And I've tried to put some stuff on there and, I'm demonetized, so it doesn't really do anything. Is it when you thought it wasn't possible to get 0 views on YouTube? Hey, just come over here. I'll show you how to do it. I'll show you how to do it. You can get, yes, it's possible to get 0 views on YouTube. We're actually professionals at it. So, I don't like to toot my own horn. But it's the truth. Anyway, so they're coming back out now. They're trying to, win you back. There must have, experienced a little drop off. I'm sure they did, because a lot of people have gone to Rumble. I'm not saying I don't ever use YouTube anymore, but I do try to use Rumble and other channels before I go there. So I'm sure I'm not the only one. So they're on a campaign to win you back. But as they're on a campaign to win you back, they're promptly censoring people again. So welcome back to YouTube. And also, this channel cannot be found. It's so crazy. So crazy. So I wanted to bring that to your attention. I've got some great news on your microgut biome and autism, which I've known for quite some time, but I want to share it with you. There's a doctor who has been doing really interesting studies with, I think it's like fecal implant, actually, to repopulate microgut biome in children with autism. So that's interesting. Today's health topic, we are finally... My apologies. We are finally going to do a little bit of a drill down on the MTHFR gene, because I know you want to talk about this. And somehow, I wrote this days ago now, and I'm finally getting to it now because it just kind of kept getting pushed because of all this good stuff we've been talking about on the show. In the second hour, Gabe Doe is going to be joining us from Good Brew. That's going to be a fantastic conversation. I feel like Gabe's kind of a celebrity at this point, because when I talk to you and we do our assessments, like, wait a second, are you on the Good Brew? Are you on the Good Brew? Are you on the Good Brew? I feel like, or it's, I'm taking the Good Brew and I love it. And I'm on the Good Brew. These are the types of comments that I get when I get to meet with you in person. And so he's coming on today, and I'm really excited about it. It's going to be a great conversation. Of course, we've got your naturally inspired moment as usual. And so let's get started with the daily topic today. This is a clip I want to play for you. Bobby Kennedy reminding us about the World Economic Forum. Here it is.
The corporate elites gathered in Davos, Switzerland at the World Economic Forum to plan the future for the rest of humanity. Their scheme, which they call the Great Reset, will drain what's ever left in your bank account and strip mine the beleaguered middle class of its remaining equity. During COVID, the WEF actually dictated the lockdowns that shifted $4 trillion upward to this new oligarchy of corporate billionaires. The bankers, the investment houses scooped up our homes, advertising that you will own nothing and be happy. They have a plan, but my plan is to stop them. I spent a career as an attorney fighting these corporate robber barons in court. I know how they work. I'm familiar with their impulses to commoditize our lands, our waters, our homes, even our children, and our workers and our public health. I've proven that I can beat them again and again and again and derail their schemes. They spend billions in advertising and propaganda to make us feel powerless, but they've underestimated the power of we the people.
He inspires me. I mean, he just inspires me. There's a lot of people changing gears on Bobby Kennedy just a few short months ago. They were very angry. They were expressing, he's just like the rest of them. This isn't going to happen. I think he's doing this. I think he's doing that. And I'm so grateful that I actually wasn't one of those people. And sometimes you know when you know. And I've been following Bobby Kennedy for a long time. And I've listened to, when he announced, especially, like I was already well into his podcast for a while, way before he's decided to run for president or anything like that. I mean, when COVID hit, listen, we were all looking for resources, right? We were all like, because we knew, we're like, wait a minute, something's going on here. Like somebody's got to be saying something somewhere, right? And Bobby Kennedy came to Denver. So that was early. That was early in COVID when people were like really masked up. And oh gosh, it was the funniest thing. I have a story about that. But anyway, we went to Denver to listen to him speak. And I'm pretty good with the BS meter, And I had already liked him, admittedly, and trusted him. But then when I heard him speak and the way he conducted himself on that day in Denver, I just knew he was genuine in his efforts. I'll tell you more about it when we come back. This is Naturally Inspired Radio. I'm Tammy Cuthbert Garcia, and I'm so glad you're here. We'll be right back.
Did you know that a single collagen supplement could support your heart health, help protect against EMF exposure, and reduce inflammation all at the same time? Our preferred foundational collagen not only supports radiant skin and joint mobility, but also promotes heart health, reduces inflammation, strengthens hair and nails, provides added protection against the effects of EMF exposure, and so much more. Our favorite collagen is super absorbable and easy to take. Just 1 tablespoon in the morning and another in the evening for maximum benefits. Here's what our listeners have to say.
This collagen is so easy to take, I've noticed a huge difference in my hair and nails after just a few weeks.
Since I started using Tammy's preferred collagen, my joints feel more flexible and my skin looks smoother.
Try it today at naturalinspiredradio.com/collagen. When you purchase from Naturally Inspired, you get access to our group health coaching call and so much more. Go to naturalinspiredradio.com/collagen. Did you know that medicinal mushrooms are excellent for pets? Take our preferred pet health products for joint health, skin health, antioxidant protection, cell health, anti-aging benefits, gut health, liver support, cholesterol regulation, blood pressure support, brain health, anxiety relief, respiratory health, endurance and strength, anti-fatigue, and much more. Available in easy-to-take treats, great tasting gravy, and our pet food blends.
Since adding mushroom dog food to my dog's diet, I've noticed a huge improvement in his energy and coat health. He's like a puppy again, even at 10 years old.
After starting my care on mushroom super sauce, her immune health and digestion have noticeably improved. She's more playful, and her fur has never looked shinier.
Learn how to get free shipping and how to join our monthly mushroom call. Text Tammy with questions or to order at 720-303-8868. Visit naturalinspiredradio.com/mushroom. That's naturalinspiredradio.com/mushroom.
Are you ready to stay informed and inspired 24/7? Tune in to Naturally Inspired Radio anytime, anywhere. Visit naturalinspiredradio.com, or for the best mobile experience, download the Simple Radio app. Search for Naturally Inspired Radio, save it to your favorites, and click on the graphic to listen instantly. Catch live broadcasts, revisit past shows, dive into long-form podcast conversations, and discover rare, censored presentations by leading health experts. Plus, explore documentaries uncovering the hidden truths of occult and esoteric history. Stay connected, stay inspired. Naturally Inspired Radio is always at your fingertips. Tune in now. For health questions or comments, text Tammy directly at 720-303-8868. naturalinspiredradio.com.
Guys, I am so excited to show you this. Somebody sent me this, and you know how I go on and on about the cellular reset, right? And I've recently, I feel like I've kind of done you a disservice, actually, because I know how it is with products and stuff like that. Everybody claims like, oh, these are so great or whatever. And so I'm always very, I want to make sure that like what I'm telling you, I think about things is like I've experienced it myself, right? And I guess that's why. I mean, I've been telling you all, I've been complaining all week that I've been out of my cellular reset because of, taking my daughter to Massachusetts, push back my order, blah, blah, blah. And so it ended up that I ran out before I had the next bottle here. I'm actually really glad that happened now because I totally feel the difference. I totally feel the difference. I laugh at myself because like this whole week I've just been like a little bit off. I just felt a little groggy and I'm like, ugh, that's what it is. Because I've been out of it for a while, a few days, I think over a week actually now it's been. But anyway, somebody sent me this and I was like, I don't even really have words. So 3.5 months on the cellular reset. And this is her testimony. She honestly cannot believe the inflammation she had in the photo on the left under her eyes and around her mouth and chin especially. There is no weight loss in this picture. And see, this is what I tell you guys all the time. Like, people carry up 10 to 15 pounds sometimes of inflammation. So many people think, oh, I need to lose weight. I need to lose weight. Yeah, great, lose weight. But also you got to control your inflammation. Look at the difference on this. Isn't that crazy? So those of you listening on radio, I always do that. I'm so sorry. There's a dramatic difference here. This is a before and after of a gal who, she's beautiful gal in both pictures, but her face is much rounder and fuller on the left side than it is on the right side. And she has lost no weight. Like, it looks like she's lost 30 pounds and she hasn't lost any weight. I'm telling you, that's inflammation. Okay. And the standard American diet, it's built for inflammation. Like, that's what it does. It creates inflammation in the body. So if you have yet to try cellular reset, it's worth it. I think it's worth it. I know it's worth it. I feel it in my body this week. It's absolutely worth it. I was just riding the high life, not even realizing how good I was feeling until I stopped taking it. And then I'm like, ugh. So get yourself some cellular reset. You can get it at the naturallyinspiredstore.com. So naturallyinspiredstore.com. Just click on the cellular reset. It'll take you straight to the right page to get it ordered. And don't forget, if you're a customer of Naturally Inspired, you get all the benefits and perks. So you get to come to the Tuesday night weekly wellness workshop. You get 15% off member pricing. You get a free welcome gift from us. You get money back guarantee. It's for a lifetime. So if you try it and you don't like it for some strange reason, you want to send it back, you can for a full refund. So not that many people ever do that. I never hear of anybody doing that, but you can do it. And they're so confident in these products. That's why they offer a money back guarantee on everything, which was one of the reasons why I partnered with them, among many, I tell you all the time. So get your cellular reset at naturallyinspiredstore.com. Okay, back to the Great Reset. I know I'm gushing on Bobby Kennedy here. And I just want to say that it's not about just creating a hero or whatever, because I am well aware, you're going to be your own hero. Nobody's going to fix everything for you. You got to be your own hero. I'm well aware of that. But I feel like he's gotten so much hate, and a lot of people who used to be his supporters turned on him. And I just think there wasn't enough understanding there. We've been let down so many times. I totally get it. But I do believe, again, I'm going to say it again, this country runs like a business. And if you've ever even done just the basic business deal or the basic real estate deal, how negotiating goes back and forth, and things can change at the last minute. And I just really think we're getting what we voted for now. Big changes. And here now we're seeing, a reminder. And I don't know when that video was shot. I couldn't find a date on it. But don't forget who this is. He's taken corporations to task his whole career and won. And so I think we have to keep doing the work, meaning we have to keep showing the marketplace where we're spending our money and what we want and what we demand, which is clean food, clean products, freedom to choose in terms of pharma. We have to keep acting that way, so that when negotiations take place, the marketplace is also dictating and signaling to these corporations that that's what the people want. So full steam ahead, right? Put your foot on the gas pedal right now. Switch all your stuff over to away from, the mega corp is what I call it. Get out of the pharmaceutical model as quickly as you can. Of course, supervised. I'm not giving medical advice here, but you know what I'm saying? Start connecting to real root cause and understanding how your body works so that you can get real solutions. The World Economic Forum goes on and on and on and on and on. And their agenda is still very much alive. I want to remind you a little bit of that. This is Larry Fink from the World Economic Forum. Larry Fink, BlackRock, the mega corp is what I call them. Listen to this.
I could argue In the developed countries, the big winners are countries that have shrinking populations. Okay, that's something that most people never talked about. You know, we always used to think shrinking population is a cause for negative growth. But in my conversations with the leadership of these large developed countries that have xenophobic immigration policies, they don't allow anybody to come in, shrinking unemployment, shrinking demographics, these countries will rapidly develop robotics and AI and technology. And if the promise, I didn't say it's going to happen, but if the promise of all that transforms productivity, which most of us think it will, we'll be able to elevate the standard of living of countries, the standard of living of individuals, even with shrinking populations. And so the paradigm of negative population growth is going to be changing. And the social problems that one will have in substituting humans for machines is going to be far easier in those countries that have declining populations. And so for those countries that have rising populations, the answer will be education, and so rapidly developing. You know, for those countries that do not have a foundation of rule of law or education, they're going to be left. That's where the divide's going to get more and more extreme. And unfortunately,
this guy, man, what he's telling you there is basically they're going to be able to take over weak countries, right? The less the population, we're going to be able to move the AI in there and take it over completely. It's interesting because he's almost advocating for, lower population, right? Because that's what these guys are all about. And this is biblical here. This is truly biblical. A one world government, okay? Homogenization, right? Just making every place the same, no borders. And of course, if you don't want people in your country, then you're a xenophobe. Do you see the formula here, right? Demonize you. You don't have the right to live in a country that was founded on the principles that you believe in and want to live by. You don't have that right anymore. Otherwise, you're a xenophobe. And, people like Charlie Kirk were saying, and I agree, things like Islamic law and Islam is not conducive with Western culture. Okay? It's not. We're not okay here with giving up our girls to full-grown men. We're not okay here silencing women, covering women up from head to toe. We're not okay with that. And there's nothing wrong with that. It doesn't mean we're xenophobes. It simply means we have a right to our culture here. And if you would like to come here and you would like to live within the American culture and practice your religion, because it's freedom of religion here. Two things, though. You can't expect that your religion will be showcased here, right? We talked about that the other day, because this country was founded on Christianity. So you can't expect that. You're more than welcome to practice your religion here. But it's not okay to change our culture. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Are achy joints holding you back? Are you tired of stiffness slowing you down? It's time to restore with Joint Restore Gummies from Prosper CBD. These delicious strawberry-flavored gummies aren't just tasty. They're designed to soothe joint discomfort, promote flexibility, and help you move freely again. No more messy creams or bitter pills. Just one gummy a day to get you back to doing what you love. Best of all, no prescription needed.
My husband was headed towards knee surgery, and I was having hip pain. A friend recommended these. We tried them, and they worked great. We noticed a difference right away.
Right now, Prosper Wellness is offering a special deal, so don't wait. Go to jointrestore1.com jointrestore.com. That's jointrestore1.com. Grab your Joint Restore gummies today. Be sure to use the promo code TAMMY, TAMMY, for 20% off your order.
Did you know 80% of beef consumed in the U.S. comes from 4 major corporations, much of it being imported or processed with additives? Want real beef from a real farm? Pumpkin Creek Ranch does things the right way. Local, grass-fed, dry-aged beef with no additives, no shortcuts, just honest quality.
Pumpkin Creek Ranch beef is the real deal. I love knowing exactly where my meat comes from. No additives, no nonsense, just honest quality beef.
Best beef I've ever had. You can taste the difference. Rich, tender, and packed with real flavor. Plus, supporting a local ranch makes it even better.
From pasture to plate, they raise their cattle with care, so you can get rich, natural flavor that only real ranching can provide. Stock your freezer with premium beef you can trust. Visit pumpkincreekranchco.com or call 970-658-0176.
Did you know that detoxing daily can help remove up to 70% of the toxins in your body? Let me share 3 real stories about how Greska's C60 has helped people feel their best every day. John from Denver, Colorado says,
I've always struggled with seasonal allergies, but since I started taking Greska C60 every day, my symptoms have significantly improved. I don't feel congested or tired all the time. It's been an amazing daily detox for my body, and I feel so much more energized.
Emily from Portland, Oregon says,
As an athlete, I was looking for a way to keep my body clean and detoxed. Greska's C60 has been a great addition to my routine. I feel less bloated and I feel more clear-headed. Plus, it's helped me with occasional muscle stiffness and aches after intense workouts.
Visit c60.com or call 720-600-6040 today to start your own journey. Use promo code TAMMY at checkout for a special discount.
Hey, yeah, if you want to talk more about the cellular reset, if you have questions, I'm getting some text here on my text line about it. Feel free to shoot me a text, 720-303-8868, 720-303-8868. Happy to answer your questions. Don't forget, you can always book a 30-minute assessment with me as well at naturallyinspiredstore.com. So either way, I'm happy to answer your questions. Do I think it would help with this or that or whatever your questions are? Absolutely. Shoot them over to me, 720-303-8868. I want to go to the next clip that I have for you here because this is I feel like this guy was like the star of the World Economic Forum during COVID, and he's just kind of slinked away into the background. We haven't heard from him for a while. I pulled this out of my files from a couple years ago, but remember this guy? Take a listen.
Maybe in a couple of decades, when people look back, the thing they will remember from the COVID crisis is this is the moment when everything went digital. And if this was the moment when everything became monitored, that we agreed to be surveyed all the time, not just in authoritarian regimes, but even in democracies. And maybe most importantly at all, this was the moment when surveillance started going under the skin. Because really we haven't seen anything yet. I think that the big process that's happening right now in the world is hacking human beings, the ability to hack humans, to understand deeply what's happening within you, what makes you go. And for that, the most important data is not what you read and who you meet and what you buy, it's what's happening inside your body.
Isn't that interesting? You know what comes to mind with that is like this guy has no ability to read the room, like no ability to like read the full spectrum room. You know what I mean? Like the world. Yes. He's not like looking to connect. He's not looking to explain. He's just like, I live in my little microcosm and I can say whatever I want and I'm just going to say it. And this is what I think. And what's wrong with you if you don't agree that you should agree to be surveilled all the time? Like, kind of blows my mind. I have like, because I'm aware of my surroundings, and I'm always kind of like looking to relate, especially with people who, may not agree with my stance, on things. And so I'm sensitive to that. And I just thought, wow, this guy, he's just doesn't care. He's just going to tell you right out flat. This is normal. This is the same guy that said you do not have the right to your data. You do not own your data and you don't have the right to your data because data is everybody's. Same guy, right? So let's not forget what this agenda is. It is about mass surveillance. It is about capturing people in 15-minute cities to support the climate change agenda. It is about programmable currency. It is about transhumanism, right? Merging man and machine through technology, through biotechnology. And I've played for you many times before, people like Ray Kurzweil and, the head of Oracle and Eric Schmidt and all these other tech type of people, where they're telling you, we know once we achieve the biotechnical revolution, right? The biology part of technology, the integration part, that's when things really explode, that they're excited about. And what they're talking about there is the biological revolution. It's the merger between man and machine. And that's the race they're in right now. That's the big race. That's why everybody is like, oh no, we can't stop AI because China. They can't wait to get that stuff in your body. Because once they have that stuff in your body, really, what more control do they need? If you become dependent on technology in your biological being, that's it, right? That's it. And then add in the programmable currency piece. Well, that's interesting, right? Because they can, and I'll just say this again for people maybe that don't understand the whole digital currency thing. A lot of people still think, well, you already have digital currency. You do digital banking, don't you? It's digital. No, you don't understand. Digital currency is programmable, meaning that, you get so many tokens for so many purchases. This is one way that they will be able to track and trace what you spend. And then, of course, tying it to carbon credits, you'll be selling all your carbon credits to the rich people so they can fly around the world while you're struggling to pay your electricity bill because you are just a gluttonous electricity hog. And so you're going to need those extra carbon credits just to keep your lights on. Like, you don't want this. Really, if you want it or you're not concerned about it, you don't understand it. Or maybe you're a part of it, because the people who are a part of it, they're telling you and I, don't fly around, don't use your car, and yet they're flying into Davos on a private jet, and then they're buying houses right on the coast so they can have beautiful ocean views. But yet somehow you're not allowed to have a cow. Because it's polluting the environment, because climate change, right? Don't eat red meat because climate change. Get out of here. Get out of here. Get out of here. We know what you're up to. You've patented all of these different products that are marketed through climate change. And that's why you're pushing climate change, because you're patenting a way to drink toilet water, and you're patenting a way to make fake beef in a laboratory, and you're patenting, all these different things that are all encompassed around the great campaign, the advertising campaign of climate change. Now, let me tell you, we do have environmental issues. Absolutely, we have environmental issues. Our soil is atrocious, and we have to rebuild it back. It's atrocious because we have poisoned it with pesticides and herbicides, and we've gone to monocropping instead of polycropping. Like, we've got a lot of issues. We have problems with our water flow because we have erosion of the soil. We're not best practices in terms of the way we're taking care of animals to produce meat. Like, we do have environmental problems, for sure. Just that none of those environmental problems are really solved by lab-grown meat. See, we have to work with what we have here. We have this beautiful planet I was telling you about, I was admiring this morning. We have this beautiful planet, and it works within this beautiful system. And it's actually miraculous the way it works. You know, how it's so perfectly lined up that one portion of the ecosystem supports the next portion, and on and on and on, right down to us as humans, right? We don't live on the earth. We were intended to live with the earth. And we just don't see it that way anymore. We see ourselves outside of it, and then we're creating all these synthetic solutions to create an ecosystem when we already have an ecosystem. You know what I'm saying? It's like we're trying to mirror nature synthetically, and the only reason they're trying to do that is because they have patents on it, so they can sell it to you, so they can run the world. Cue evil genius. You know, but truly that's what it is. And if you just step back and you look at it for a bit, you can see it. You can really see it. It's like, why am I, it's just like pharmaceuticals, right? Like, why are we synthesizing plants that occur in nature naturally? Because that's what pharmaceuticals are, right? They're synthesized, they're more potent, they have chemicals in them. But all medicine is the base is coming from plants. Why are we doing that? We're doing that because there can be a patent on those things. And there can't be a patent on anything that occurs naturally in nature. So, that's the formula. And that's what's going on here. It's a little frustrating because, they just continue pumping the narrative. Boom, boom. I saw that there just before I came on the show, Obama has a little clip going viral where he's telling you that what they are doing by discouraging people to take Tylenol while pregnant is actually violence. I just love the whole silence is violence thing. Everything is violence. Truth is violence now, he said. That's what he said. The quote is, this kind of truth or whatever is violence. So the truth is violence now, you guys. Oh, can we please just go back to a regular vocabulary? I can't keep up with all these terms. I just can't. I just need regular language. Can we get some regular language, please? Please. Stay tuned. Your naturally inspired moment is next. We'll be right back.
Did you know that a single collagen supplement could support your heart health, help protect against EMF exposure, and reduce inflammation all at the same time? Our preferred foundational collagen not only supports radiant skin and joint mobility, but also promotes heart health, reduces inflammation, strengthens hair and nails, provides added protection against the effects of EMF exposure, and so much more. Our favorite collagen is super absorbable and easy to take. Just 1 tablespoon in the morning and another in the evening for maximum benefits. Here's what our listeners have to say.
This collagen is so easy to take, I've noticed a huge difference in my hair and nails after just a few weeks.
Since I started using Tammy's preferred collagen, my joints feel more flexible and my skin looks smoother.
Try it today at naturalinspiredradio.com/collagen. When you purchase from Naturally Inspired, you get access to our group health coaching call and so much more. Go to naturalinspiredradio.com/collagen. Did you know that medicinal mushrooms are excellent for pets? Take our preferred pet health products for joint health, skin health, antioxidant protection, cell health, anti-aging benefits, gut health, liver support, cholesterol regulation, blood pressure support, brain health, anxiety relief, respiratory health, endurance and strength, anti-fatigue, and much more. available in easy-to-take treats, great-tasting gravy, and our pet food blends.
Since adding mushroom dog food to my dog's diet, I've noticed a huge improvement in his energy and coat health. He's like a puppy again, even at 10 years old.
After starting my care on mushroom super sauce, her immune health and digestion have noticeably improved. She's more playful, and her fur has never looked shinier.
Learn how to get free shipping and how to join our monthly mushroom call. Text Tammy with questions or to order at 720-303-8868. Visit naturallyinspiredradio.com/mushroom. That's naturallyinspiredradio.com/mushroom.
Are you ready to stay informed and inspired 24/7? Tune in to Naturally Inspired Radio anytime, anywhere. Visit naturallyinspiredradio.com, or for the best mobile experience, download the Simple Radio app. Search for Naturally Inspired Radio, save it to your favorites, and click on the graphic to listen instantly. Catch live broadcasts, revisit past shows, dive into long-form podcast conversations, and discover rare, censored presentations by leading health experts. Plus, explore documentaries uncovering the hidden truths of occult and esoteric history. Stay connected, stay inspired. Naturally Inspired Radio is always at your fingertips. Tune in now. For health questions or comments, text Tammy directly at 720-303-8868. naturallyinspiredradio.com.
You know what I'm thinking? It's going to be my new kind of go-to recommendation, the 1-2 punch, if you will. It's got to be my collagen and the cellular reset together. It's got to be that, because the collagen, it's liquid. It's got low molecular weight, so it's highly absorbable. You take a teaspoon in the morning, you take a teaspoon in the evening. That totally helps with joint pain. It helps with gastrointestinal stuff. The heal and seal approach that I'm always talking to you about when it comes to your gut, right? You have to heal your gut, but you got to seal it too. And if you want to seal it, you got to make sure your collagen levels are up. And if you are over the age of 25, then chances are your collagen levels aren't up. Unless you are doing something towards building those, it's likely that you are depleted in collagen. So everybody needs to supplement with collagen. So I think I'm going to put a new bundle together. And I think it's probably going to be like an insulin resistant bundle. And I'm going to put my favorite products in that bundle that I know now that I cannot live. I don't want to live without. I can, but I don't want to. It's going to be the cellular reset, and it's going to definitely include the collagen and then a couple of other things. So if you're interested in knowing what my kind of go-to package is, you can text me 720-303-8868. Just text me go to, and I'll know what you're talking about, and I'll send you that information. You can always also connect with me for a 30-minute consultation at naturallyinspiredstore.com. I'm happy to sit with you. I actually very much enjoy it. So if you want to do that, that's an option as well. Naturally Inspired Moment. Let's get to it. So for today's Naturally Inspired Moment, this was like therapy for me writing this one. It was really helpful for me. So I hope it helps you as well. I'm talking about gracefully accepting your challenges while you're working through them. You get to this point in your life where you're like, that's a problem. The way I talk about that is a problem. The way I react to that is a problem. Yep, that's definitely a problem. But yeah, you don't really know how to navigate it. It's like you're at the awareness point, I guess is what I could say. So we all face challenges, and sometimes those challenges are within ourselves. So the key is not to deny them, okay? Because you're not really fooling anybody. You know what I mean? Like, if you're reacting in a certain way every time and it's kind of producing bad results, you're not really fooling anybody. I wish I was, but I'm not. And I accept that. So the first thing is accepting it, right? Like lean into it, because guess what? Nobody's perfect. Nobody's perfect. And I know that's a saying for us, but I don't think we really live it. We say that to one another a lot of the times. We're like, yeah, I get it. Like nobody's perfect. But then we're like critical of ourselves, you know? So it's time to like lean into those challenges and be like, yep, that's a problem for me. So, meet it with grace while you're still moving forward. And so here are 5 strategies to help you with that. Number 1, acknowledge without shame. So say to yourself, yes, this is something I struggle with. Acceptance is the first step towards transformation. You don't have to have it all figured out, okay? But acknowledging it, like, yes, this is a problem. Big, big, big first step towards transformation. Number 2, separate your identity from your struggle. You aren't your problem. You are not your problem. A shortcoming is just a circumstance. It's not who you are. You are not your challenge. You are the one working through the challenge. And guess what? When you can even lean into and accept that that's a problem for you, man, people are just ready to give you grace. They're so ready to give you grace. So don't underestimate how much grace and how much connection that you will get from just acknowledging the issue. Don't have to have the answer. Number 3, focus on progress, not perfection. So small daily steps build momentum. Celebrate your improvements instead of criticizing what's yet to be fixed, right? So just give yourself some credit for acknowledging, that that's an issue for you. Okay, yeah. How am I going to fix that? Start thinking about it. You don't have to have the answers all the time right away. Number 4, invite support and accountability. So share your journey with a trusted friend or a mentor. Speaking your struggle out loud weakens its power and strengthens your resilience. Let me tell you a little perspective on this that I learned when I started working with people on their health journey, walking alongside them, right? It's like a little bit like shy to tell me some of the things that they're doing. They're trying to sugarcoat it a little bit. And I just encourage you, like, you're more lovable when you just are open, It's like, because we're all struggling with stuff and we're so much more alike than we think we are. We think we're the only ones doing this bad thing. Oh my gosh, I'm doing this bad thing. It's me and I'm shame. I know I should be doing things different, but I'm not. So like, just stop with that, because we're all dealing with stuff. We're all dealing with stuff. And so when you're open with it, all that does is help the connectivity. And then you can get to solutions faster because someone else may have some perspective on that too. It's like, oh my gosh, I used to do that too, and this is how I kind of worked through it. So you're really you're closing yourself off and isolating yourself by trying to conceal, and maybe not even purposely trying to conceal. It's just like, it's embarrassing maybe, or you're just ashamed or whatever, but just come out with it because everybody's struggling with something. Everybody's struggling with something. Let me tell you, everybody is. So you don't have to feel like you're the only one. And when you invite support, it helps with accountability. And let me tell you, people want to help. They want to help. As I've said before, helping is a two-way street. We are conditioned to think that receiving help makes you weak and that giving help makes you strong. And it's not that way. It's not that way. Asking for help is a show of strength. It's a show of strength to be able to ask for help. And it's fulfilling to be able to help. So you're actually giving back. When you receive help, you're giving back to someone else because it feels good to be helpful. So don't cut anybody off from helping you by thinking, oh, I'm a burden, or I shouldn't do this, or, I shouldn't because it's weak, or whatever. I spent way too much time there. I should have never spent that much time there. I feel like Gen X does that a lot. So maybe that resonates with some of you because that's me for sure. Reframe as growth training. So challenges are the gym for your character. I love that. So each one is shaping your patience, your persistence, and your wisdom, just like when you go to the gym to train your muscles, right? It's a practice. You get a little stronger all the time. You notice it very slowly. You're like, wait a minute, am I getting better at that? Do I feel less shaky? Like, was that something? And then the next day is a little bit better. Next day. And you're like, oh yeah. And then, life happens and you have a really crappy day in the gym and you feel like you haven't made any gains at all. And you're like, what is this? Because success isn't linear. It goes up, 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 and then maybe it drops down and then it goes way up. You know what I mean? Like it's unpredictable. And that's because we're humans. And that's just how humans are. I don't know what to tell you beyond that, other than just, I've just learned to kind of accept that the messier that your life is at times, when you look back on it in hindsight, you're like, that whole thing was actually pretty beautiful. The way it turned out. Didn't feel that way when I was going through it. But when you can get when you can get beyond it, when you're through it and you have a little perspective and you look back on it, you can see the moments where you really stepped up and showed your character and showed your strength. And even though at the time you really couldn't appreciate it in the moment because it was so painful or it just felt so exhausting or what have you, when you get a little, through it, and you will get through the other side, because one thing's for sure, nothing stays the same. So eventually you're going to get through it. And when you have that perspective and you look back on the whole ball of mess, you're going to be like, wow, that was like an orchestrated, beautiful symphony. I'm serious. You will look at it like that because you're like, gosh, that was so awful and painful and I didn't know what I was going to do. But yet when you get some perspective on it and you're out of it, you're like, wow, that really, it worked out. I got through it. So anyway, gracefully accepting your challenges while working through them. Today's Naturally Inspired Moment. We're coming up on hour 2. Don't forget, Gabe Doe from Good Brew is going to be joining us. We're going to have a great conversation and you're not going to want to miss it.
Are you ready to stay informed and inspired 24/7? Tune in to Naturally Inspired Radio anytime, anywhere. Visit naturallyinspiredradio.com, or for the best mobile experience, download the Simple Radio app. Search for Naturally Inspired Radio. Save it to your favorites, and click on the graphic to listen instantly. Catch live broadcasts, revisit past shows, dive into long-form podcast conversations, and discover rare, censored presentations by leading health experts. Plus, explore documentaries uncovering the hidden truths of occult and esoteric history. Stay connected, stay inspired. Naturally Inspired Radio is always at your fingertips. Tune in now. For health questions or comments, text Tammy directly at 720-303-8868. naturallyinspiredradio.com.
Nearly 40% of Americans struggle with a $400 emergency expense. An extra $300 a month can be the difference between stability and financial stress.
Are you feeling the pinch of rising expenses? Imagine what an extra $300, $500, or even $1,000 a month can do for you. Introducing a simple 3-step system designed to help you create a steady income without the overwhelm. Step 1, follow our easy-to-use plan. Step 2, take small, consistent actions. Step 3, stay motivated with weekly coaching designed to keep you on track and moving forward. Whether you're saving for a family vacation, paying down debt, or just looking for breathing room, this system is for you. You don't need special skills, just the desire to make change. Join a growing community of success stories today. Visit simpleincome.info or text 720-764-7448.
Welcome to Naturally Inspired Radio, where we expose what's broken in the healthcare system, connect you to real health solutions, and inspire you to take back control of your life. We want to help you feel empowered, informed, and free to live naturally without fear, confusion, or dependency. Download our latest book on real solutions for health at naturallyinspiredradio.com. Naturally Inspired Radio is a nationally syndicated show broadcast on over 100 radio stations, online platforms, video channels, and podcast feeds. Follow us on your favorite platform today, hit that like button, leave a comment, and engage in our special live stream chats, Monday through Friday, 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. Visit naturallyinspiredradio.com to learn more, register for our weekly giveaway, and explore past episodes. You can also connect directly with Tammy, follow her on all major social media platforms, and discover more about our featured guests and trusted radio partners. Are you looking for better health? Work with Tammy today and take the first step toward a healthier, more empowered lifestyle. Schedule your complimentary 30-minute lifestyle assessment to explore personalized guidance on nutrition, movement, toxin-free living, and natural beauty without pharma. Get started now and discover Tammy's preferred health products at naturallyinspiredstore.com or text Tammy directly 720-303-8868. Love the show and want to support the movement? Head over to naturallyinspiredradio.com and click on the support tab. There you'll find all the ways you can get involved. Join our Naturally Inspired community, become a preferred customer, attend one of our amazing live events, get your backstage pass for exclusive access, and connect to all things naturally inspired. Thank you for tuning in today. Now sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
Did you know that a single collagen supplement could support your heart health, help protect against EMF exposure, and reduce inflammation all at the same time? Our preferred foundational collagen not only supports radiant skin and joint mobility, but also promotes heart health, reduces inflammation, strengthens hair and nails, provides added protection against the effects of EMF exposure, and so much more. Our favorite collagen is super absorbable and easy to take. Just 1 tablespoon in the morning and another in the evening for maximum benefits. Here's what our listeners have to say.
This collagen is so easy to take, I've noticed a huge difference in my hair and nails after just a few weeks.
Since I started using Tammy's preferred collagen, my joints feel more flexible and my skin looks smoother.
Try it today at naturallyinspiredradio.com/collagen. When you purchase from Naturally Inspired, you get access to our group health coaching call and so much more. Go to naturallyinspiredradio.com/collagen.
Are you ready to stay informed and inspired 24/7? Tune in to Naturally Inspired Radio anytime, anywhere. Visit naturallyinspiredradio.com, or for the best mobile experience, download the simple radio app. Search for Naturally Inspired Radio, save it to your favorites, and click on the graphic to listen instantly. Catch live broadcasts, revisit past shows, dive into long-form podcast conversations, and discover rare, censored presentations by leading health experts. Plus, explore documentaries uncovering the hidden truths of occult and esoteric history. Stay connected, stay inspired. Naturally Inspired Radio is always at your fingertips. Tune in now. For health questions or comments, text Tammy directly at 720-303-8868. naturallyinspiredradio.com.
The information and other content provided on this radio show or in any linked materials is provided for informational purposes only, not intended and should not be construed as medical advice. It is not a substitute for professional medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment.
Welcome back. This is hour 2 of Naturally Inspired Radio. So glad you are joining me today. If you're just joining now for the second hour, welcome. Want you to know that we've been talking about the Great Reset. I know, blast from the past, right? Remember the Great Reset rollout? If anybody has any doubt now that whole thing was, precisely designed to change the way we live, I don't know where you've been living. So we revisited a few clips from people like Larry Fink. We visited a few clips from, Bobby Kennedy was telling us that he's still in the fight against the World Economic Forum and what they're trying to achieve. And Larry Fink was sharing to us how depopulation is good, essentially. And there was Yoel Noah Harari sharing with us how, we should give over all of our bodily sovereignty to, mass surveillance. It's just nuts, right? It's nuts. But somehow these people have made sense of it, and it is their agenda, and they are actively still pursuing it. So you can't be resting on your laurels right now. We need to be diligent. We need to be driving the marketplace exactly where we want it to go, meaning we're not buying into that stuff. We're actually making choices that point in the other direction to, medical freedom, to sovereignty, to more freedom, not less, right? In our country. So that's kind of what we've been talking about. I want to highlight some stories now. I want to go to another clip actually from the previous head of YouTube. Do you remember this? Take a look and a listen.
Partnered with Google, for example, if you Google climate change, you will, at the top of your search, you will get all kinds of UN resources. We started this partnership when we were shocked to see that when we Googled climate change, we were getting incredibly distorted information right at the top. So we're becoming much more proactive. We own the science, and we think that the world, should know it, and the platforms themselves also do. But again, it's a huge challenge that I think all sectors of society need to be very active in.
Remember when they owned the science and YouTube was pulling down everybody's videos because you couldn't even say anything against the climate change campaign, advertising campaign? That's what it is, everybody. Climate change is the banner of which all of their products and their ways of life that they would like to implement, it's the mechanism of which they want to implement their products and services in the way they want the world to be. They've weaponized this term. It's the ad campaign. Okay, every time I see it, climate change, I just think, oh, it's like seeing Sears, Roebuck. You know what I mean? It's like seeing Home Depot. It's just a campaign. It's a campaign. I explained earlier in the first hour, yes, we do have environmental issues, absolutely. But this thing called climate change, that was worked up in a boardroom. That was like, what can we call this thing? Global warming's not working anymore. So you know what? How about climate change? Yeah, I like that. And that's the way these things come to be. It's the same thing with Black Lives Matter. When Black Lives Matter came out with, silence is violence, I was like, why is everybody turning their profile picture black? What? Black Lives Matter? What is this? Like blackout for what? Okay, I did a little research. Turns out the two ladies that are put in charge of it, they're marketers. And they never told us where that money was going to go precisely. They just said, give your money, blackout and donate, blackout and donate. And I was like, yeah, I'm not going to be blacking out or donating because, where is this even going? Oh, fast forward and everybody hates me and for saying I'm not blacking out because this is run by two marketing ladies and they don't say where they're going to put the money or what's happening with it. So no, I'm not going to be donating to that. Your silence is violence. Okay, whatever. Fast forward a couple years. Oh, what do they buy with that money? Mansions around the country. Mansions around the country. Now, I mean, it's pretty much known. I mean, I think really the diehards are the ones still grasping at straws, trying to be like, yeah, Black Lives Matter. But we know, right? She's paying her boyfriend. She's paying her brother. They bought all these mansions. Like, hello. It's a marketing campaign. Like, assume it's a marketing campaign until you figure out, okay, where's this money going? And maybe it's a good marketing campaign. I'm not saying all marketing campaigns are bad, but I'm saying, like, look at it for what it is. And if you can't figure out where the money's going and who's doing it and what their background is and stuff, like, there's an issue. We've been burned before. Same thing with climate change. Look who's backing climate change. Oh, it just so happens Bill Gates is backing climate change. And oh, he wants to make toilet water. That's alarming that Bill Gates wants to get in control of our water. Like I said, right? They take something that occurs naturally and they figure out how they can put a patent on it by synthesizing it, changing it in some way, and then they put a gate in front of it. And you got to put quarters in the gate to get to the water that you were born on the earth to be. It's your birthright. You need water to survive. You were born on the earth. Like, Bill Gates shouldn't be collecting money off of your water, but he's trying to. You betcha. He's trying to. And there's a lot of other things like that. So whenever you see the climate change brand, you got to kind of wonder about it, you know? What is it and what does it mean? So yeah, that's interesting with YouTube now coming back, inviting people back on. And I don't know if they'll let a lot of people last. I'm not going to hold my breath, right? I'm not going to hold my breath that my videos will stay up there. I'll try again, but I don't know, who knows? There is no place for censorship in America, because we have rights to protect against that. And so it's so ironic right now that we have this Jimmy Kimmel thing and all these, people coming out, being censored. But they never stood up for us. They don't like to stand up for our right to say what we want to say. It's only when it, suits their liking. And that's why, I don't care for Jimmy Kimmel, but I certainly don't want him silenced. Let the marketplace speak on that. I think they have. I think they already have, actually. But, if they want to bolster him back up, I've heard that he had a bunch of celebrities that, signed a strongly worded letter, 400 of them, I guess, to get him all back on. I wonder if they're all on the CAA channel. I should look that up. Remember we were talking about that the other day, how the government has weaponized a lot of celebrities for influence and, psyops of sorts. And they seem to be all on the same list from the CAA talent agency. Not all of them. I'm not saying all of them. Things are nuanced. I like to say that because people are like, oh, what about this? Or what about that? And like, everything's nuanced, right? But there are a lot of celebrities on the CAA website that do the government, kind of left-wing type of propaganda stuff. It's just a little weird. Anyway, some good news. Dr. Ben Carson is going to be the nation's nutrition advisor. I am super excited about this, and I have a clip to share with you about it. Watch.
Hey everyone, it's Brooke Rollins, and today is a massive day as we're all working to make America great again. And it's an amazing day for many reasons, but I just couldn't be more excited, proud, overwhelmed, and honored at the fact that my dear friend and longtime warrior for truth and peace and God has joined the team, and that's the incredible Dr. Ben Carson. We just did a swearing in. He is going to now begin to serve our great president, this country, and our team as the National Nutrition Advisor. And as we work to make America healthy again with my partner, Secretary Bobby Kennedy, and the bridge between agriculture and farming and health. Our farmers are at the middle of all of it, but having, of course, this American hero right alongside us as we map out these next steps is, again, one of the greatest honors of my life. So, Dr. Carson, thank you so much.
Well, thank you for having me and for the incredible work that's been done already. And I am delighted to be a part of this because I've been interested in health and healthy living, for decades. In fact, I have a very close friend who has diabetes, who has been in Italy for the last 2 months, and his diabetes has disappeared.
Wow.
And that tells you that there's a lot going on in our environment, things that we can control, because our life expectancy has been going down while that in some other places have been going up. And one of the obvious differences is we partake of too many processed foods. And we have the technology. We just need to put the emphasis in the right place and add learning the actions that we take. And I think it's going to make a big difference for the vitality of our population.
That's right. And it's a national security issue.
That should make you kind of mad. When I hear that, I'm like, wow. So an American citizen travels abroad, and I hear it all the time, actually. I hear it all the time. People tell me, yeah, when I eat pasta here, I get really bloated, my stomach hurts, whatever. But if I traveled to Italy and I ate all the pasta and I lost weight, this is what people tell me. And do you know how big that is for somebody like Dr. Ben Carson to say that? He's addressing the nation with this message. We can help. I'll tell you how when we come back. You're listening to Naturally Inspired Radio.
Did you know that a single collagen supplement could support your heart health, help protect against EMF exposure, and reduce inflammation all at the same time? Our preferred foundational collagen not only supports radiant skin and joint mobility, but also promotes heart health, reduces inflammation, strengthens hair and nails, provides added protection against the effects of EMF exposure, and so much more. Our favorite collagen is super absorbable and easy to take. Just 1 tablespoon in the morning and another in the evening for maximum benefits. Here's what our listeners have to say.
This collagen is so easy to take, I've noticed a huge difference in my hair and nails after just a few weeks.
Since I started using Tammy's preferred collagen, my joints feel more flexible and my skin looks smoother.
Try it today at naturallyinspiredradio.com/collagen. When you purchase from Naturally Inspired, you get access to our group health coaching call and so much more. Go to naturallyinspiredradio.com/collagen. Did you know that medicinal mushrooms are excellent for pets? Take our preferred pet health products for joint health, skin health, antioxidant protection, cell health, anti-aging benefits, gut health, liver support, cholesterol regulation, blood pressure support, brain health, anxiety relief, respiratory health, endurance and strength, anti-fatigue, and much more. Available in easy-to-take treats, great-tasting gravy, and our pet food blends.
Since adding mushroom dog food to my dog's diet, I've noticed a huge improvement in his energy and coat health. He's like a puppy again, even at 10 years old.
After starting my care on mushroom super sauce, her immune health and digestion have noticeably improved. She's more playful, and her fur has never looked shinier.
Learn how to get free shipping and how to join our monthly mushroom call. Text Tammy with questions or to order at 720-303-8868. Visit naturallyinspiredradio.com/mushroom. That's naturallyinspiredradio.com/mushroom.
Are you ready to stay informed and inspired 24/7? Tune in to Naturally Inspired Radio anytime, anywhere. Visit naturallyinspiredradio.com, or for the best mobile experience, download the Simple Radio app. Search for Naturally Inspired Radio, save it to your favorites, and click on the graphic to listen instantly. Catch live broadcasts, revisit past shows, dive into long-form podcast conversations, and discover rare, censored presentations by leading health experts. Plus, explore documentaries uncovering the hidden truths of occult and esoteric history. Stay connected, stay inspired. Naturally Inspired Radio is always at your fingertips. Tune in now. For health questions or comments, text Tammy directly at 720-303-8868. naturallyinspiredradio.com.
How did you guys like the show yesterday with Mark Squibb? If you didn't yet see it, you got to go back after this show and watch yesterday's show. And if you're interested in learning about oxygen training, Mark had a phenomenal personal story. Go to liveO2.com, liveO2.com, or you can call 970-658-2789. That's Mark Squibb with liveO2 and his oxygen training program, where he's helped people with brain injury, sleeping, all kinds of cognitive stuff as well. So liveO2.com. Visit there today and let him know that Naturally Inspired sent you. Okay, I have, so just, awesome stuff going on. Obviously, we have the autism debate happening, the Tylenol thing happening, but I want you to know that there's been people working like in the background for a long, long time now on solutions for autism. And one of those is Dr. Sabine Hazan, I think is how you say her name. She has been doing some gut microbiome work. So take a listen to this clip.
Or the miracle in a way. When you see the cases of the two twins that are severely injured with autism, severely autistic, nonverbal, and their microbiome is this way, identically, the two of them have the same groups of microbes. And then you correct their microbiome and you flip that formula to becoming good microbes high, bad microbes down. And those kids are speaking and fully verbal, fully reading. That's the gold. Because now well, I have clinical significance, but I also have a microbiome assay that tells me that my kid has improved.
Fascinating stuff. She's been working on this for many, many years now. And of course, she was very vocal during the COVID-19 era of, mandating vaccines. Just makes me sick to think that, some of these families who were already dealing with an autistic child were then being locked down and isolated because they refused to take more injections. It was bad enough, like for the person that just didn't want to take it and knew the risks and everything. But imagine you're living with a vaccine injured person, and then the world is turned on you and wants you to take more. Like I can't even go there. Anyway, so there's this whole other area of interest. So that's one thing that we have to be looking at, gut microbiome when it comes to therapy and autism. Another thing that we have to be looking at is that MTHFR gene that we've been talking about. You've heard it here and there, you want to know more about it. So and I've covered it a lot, but I'm going to cover it again just briefly here. So MTHFR is an enzyme that helps convert folate into its active form. And this process is crucial for the methylation cycle, which supports DNA synthesis, neurotransmitters, and red blood cell production. So how the MTHFR may affect even something like iron. This is something new that I had just learned that fairly recently, that having this may actually having a gene mutation may put you at risk for anemia. So, I mean, this is a detox. This is something that you need to be able to detox, and that's why it's being brought up in context to autism, because of course, what's happening is you're being injected, right? And then the inability to detox properly or methylate certain vitamins and to support the neurotransmitters. It's a big deal. Again, it goes back to like this vision that I like to build in people, understanding how their body works. it's based on a traditional Chinese medicine that, we have these like highways going through the body. And even on the cellular level, it's a little system in there. And when you get buildup of any sort, toxicity, like sludge. Even Mark was talking about it yesterday with Livo2. He's talking about blockages. And if you can get past the blockage, then, it reoxygenates the brain and the brain goes back to homeostasis. So it's all the same type of process when you're talking about like bringing the body back to homeostasis, or dare I say, quote, healing. I'm not saying healing, but I know I'm, you guys, it's just, I just hate the word police, and I can't be too careful, because any excuse to take me down, they find it. So I'm not saying this heals anything. I'm not, I'm just saying that the body has processes that it goes through, and you start feeling better when you can clear the gunk out of the way, So folate plus vitamin B12 are needed for red blood cells, the red blood cell formation. So if folate metabolism is impaired, as with the MTHFR variants, you can get megaloblastic anemia. So the anemia looks similar to iron deficiency anemia, so fatigue, pale skin, weakness, but it's caused by folate B12 issues, not iron itself. So many people take iron supplements and it doesn't improve their situation. And so that's, and especially, I don't want to get too into the weeds here, but there's also an issue that involves birth control into this. Maybe we'll cover that tomorrow or Monday. So masking or confusion with iron deficiency, because symptoms overlap, people with MTHFR mutations may think they have low iron, when in fact the problem is low methylfolate B12, leading to poor red blood cell formation. So this can complicate diagnosis if only ferritin or hemoglobin are checked without folate B12, homeocysteine, and inflammation. The MTHFR variants often lead to elevated homeocysteine, which can contribute to oxidative stress and inflammation. Chronic inflammation can disrupt iron metabolism by raising your liver hormone, making it harder to absorb or use iron efficiently. So here's kind of the summary. The MTHFR mutations don't directly change iron absorption, but they can cause anemia that mimics iron deficiency due to folate B12 metabolism problems. Indirectly affect iron metabolism via inflammation and homeocysteine pathways. That's why doctors often test iron studies plus folate, plus B12, plus homeocysteine together when evaluating anemia in someone with MTHFR. Well, that's debatable, I'm not sure you're all getting tested the way you probably should be. Not the way you're presenting with me, Many people have never heard of the MTHFR mutation, and they're being labeled with anemia. Even yesterday, I was talking to somebody, and there's just so much, there. You got to really look at the full thing, even with like insulin resistance. I was talking to somebody, and they didn't know that thyroid nodules can be related to insulin resistance. Thyroid nodules. So if you have thyroid nodules, go to your doctor and say, hey man, do I have insulin resistance? Can you test me for insulin resistance? Because insulin is a growth hormone, and it grows skin tags, and it grows, it's a growth thing. It's trying to grow. And if its body doesn't have, doesn't know what to do with it, then you may get these extra growths. I don't know. I just read the stuff. I don't give medical advice. I just read the stuff because I'm a dork and I like to read the stuff. I don't know why I do. Anyway, Gabe Doe coming up next. We're going to be talking about your gut. I know you love your good brew. So stay tuned for Gabe. This is Naturally Inspired Radio.
Are achy joints holding you back? Are you tired of stiffness slowing you down? It's time to restore with Joint Restore Gummies from Prosper CBD. These delicious strawberry-flavored gummies aren't just tasty, they're designed to soothe joint discomfort, promote flexibility, and help you move freely again. No more messy creams or bitter pills. Just one gummy a day to get you back to doing what you love. Best of all, no prescription needed.
My husband was headed towards knee surgery, and I was having hip pain. A friend recommended these. We tried them, and they worked great. We noticed a difference right away.
Right now, Prosper Wellness is offering a special deal, so don't wait. Go to jointrestore1.com. That's jointrestore1.com. Grab your Joint Restore gummies today. Be sure to use the promo code TAMMY, TAMMY, for 20% off your order.
Did you know 80% of beef consumed in the U.S. comes from 4 major corporations, much of it being imported or processed with additives? Want real beef from a real farm? Pumpkin Creek Ranch does things the right way. Local, grass-fed, dry-aged beef with no additives, no shortcuts, just honest quality.
Pumpkin Creek Ranch beef is the real deal. I love knowing exactly where my meat comes from. No additives, no nonsense, just honest quality beef.
Best beef I've ever had. You can taste the difference. Rich, tender, and packed with real flavor. Plus, supporting a local ranch makes it even better.
From pasture to plate, they raise their cattle with care, so you can get rich, natural flavor that only real ranching can provide. Stock your freezer with premium beef you can trust. Visit pumpkincreekranchco.com or call 970-658-0176.
Did you know that detoxing daily can help remove up to 70% of the toxins in your body? Let me share 3 real stories about how Greska's C60 has helped people feel their best every day. John from Denver, Colorado says,
I've always struggled with seasonal allergies, but since I started taking Greska C60 every day, my symptoms have significantly improved. I don't feel congested or tired all the time. It's been an amazing daily detox for my body, and I feel so much more energized.
Emily from Portland, Oregon says,
As an athlete, I was looking for a way to keep my body clean and detoxed. Greska C60 has been a great addition to my routine. I feel less bloated and I feel more clear-headed. Plus, it's helped me with occasional muscle stiffness and aches after intense workouts.
Visit c60.com or call 720-600-6040 today to start your own journey. Use promo code TAMMY at checkout for a special discount.
Welcome back, everybody. So glad you're joining me today because my friend Gabe is here. And I was welcome, Gabe, to Naturally Inspired Radio. Get on here and join me. And you don't need an introduction. You're like famous in my circles now, Gabe.
Oh, that's good to hear. That's always nice to be famous.
Seriously, everybody I talk to, you know, I do assessments with my clients, and I'm always talking to people on my health text line, and they're like, I'm on the good brew. I'm on the good brew. I don't think anybody I know is not on the good brew at this point.
Hey, we got a great reorder rate. We get so many wonderful testimonials, you know, so it just speaks for itself. And, yeah, we had a great summer. You know, I was out in Colorado. Obviously, you know that for the summer, and we went to a lot of different events and trade shows. We spoke to a lot of people, including a lot of doctors. And, you know, I think I'm not sure how I'm showing up on the screen right there because the way I see it, it's like it's got me half cut off, but I think I'm fine.
Yeah, you're fine.
Okay, so you know, like even you know, in your local community there. There's a functional medicine doctor who him and his wife, this is somebody that you know of that's very successful in his field, functional medicine, and he was having a problem with his gut for years he couldn't solve. And in 2 weeks of using Good Brew, he called us and said, hey, can I get a discount for all of my clients? Because, you know, I don't want to make any money off of it. I just want to be able to pass this along to them because it helped him so much. So So maybe Good Brew's famous. No, we want Good Brew to be famous. You don't worry about me being famous. But if that means Good Brew's getting famous, then okay.
Well, I think they enjoy talking to you. And that's one of the cool things about Good Brew, right? It's a local company, two entrepreneurial American guys just hitting the scene and trying to make a difference in people's health. And I think people, they like that. They like that it's a local thing and that it's working so well. Of course, they like that the best, that it's working. But it's just an added bonus when they know that they're supporting like a small company.
Yeah, and it's great. And, at your show, the Nationally Inspired Summit, which is a fantastic show, we had Dr. Judy Mikovich, call us out. And, it's getting back to that short chain fatty acid issue that's so important. And short chain fatty acids are 95% produced by the gut microbiome. And they are one of the most important aspects of your health. And it's the microbiome. And, obviously I mentioned that and the importance of, an organic inulin fiber combined with a good probiotic to support the gut microbes that then produce those short chain fatty acids. And Dr. Judy just happened to also have a topic in her talk about that same subject. And she heard our talk and obviously gave us a good endorsement, mentioning Good Brew during her talk. So you can't get any higher referrals or compliments
accolades
than having her mention your product. So.
Well, interesting. I was going to play a clip today about inulin, but I thought I'd just have you explain it better because this guy is a top surgeon, cardiologist. Okay, he works directly with people. What he has discovered is that insulin resistance is actually the precursor to heart disease. And he went in this talk that I was listening to, he went on and on and on about insulin resistance, and then he got to the gut. In regards to insulin resistance, he got to the gut and he started saying, this, you have to have fiber. So a lot of people are big on the carnivore diet and whatnot. And I think, if it's working for you, great. But get your Good Brew because he said specifically inulin. And then I'm like, oh my gosh, that's a Good Brew. So tell the people about why you guys chose inulin.
Right. Well, obviously we could talk about this for a long time, but basically here's the thing. So, from a market standpoint, there's a lot of fibers that are on the market that are not the type of fibers that our gut microbiome has evolved to feed on in nature. These are wheat dextrins and corn dextrins and synthetic fibers. Those things we do not naturally, even though it comes from corn or it comes from wheat, it doesn't mean that it's something that you naturally get when you digest corn or digest wheat. You don't. Your body doesn't convert corn into dextrin. That's a chemical process that has to be done. So the biggest there's soluble and insoluble fibers. So the biggest soluble fibers on the market sold mostly by big pharma and big companies are these wheat dextrins and corn dextrins, and they're not really truly the real prebiotics. Okay. So, but they're cheap. They're cheap to make and they can sell them. And we hear people tell us all the time that my doctor or somebody told me to start using this stuff and my gut got worse. And so inulin is a soluble fiber that is found in fruits. And it's the kind of soluble fiber that our gut microbiome loves to feed on. There's some other good prebiotics out there as well, but they're not soluble. You can't really put them in your food and that sort of thing. A good one is resistant starches. Resistant starches are another, like if you take like a potato and you cook it and then you let it sit, those starches in that potato start to become longer chain starches, and that makes a good prebiotic, your sweet potatoes and those sorts of things. But as far as a soluble fiber, inulin is the fiber that is what your gut likes and what your gut microbiome likes. And so with inulin's a big family of molecules. And so as that clip you had sent to me, what he was talking about there is these shorter chain fibers, inulin fibers, that are what your gut microbes can really feed on. And so these natural inulin fibers, like our organic inulin fiber, has these shorter chain inulins, and they make for a really good prebiotic for your gut microbes. And there are longer chain inulins that have been made for the food industry to help with food processing. and your gut microbes don't feed on those as well. And the way you can tell is that these natural inulins are a little bit sweet, and as you know, Good Brew is a little bit sweet. Not sweet enough to change the flavor of your food or anything like that, but if you taste it, it's just mildly sweet. And that's because that's how these shorter chain inulin fibers are made of these fructans, which is like a non-digestible sugar, basically. So you have like digestible sugars and and non-digestible. It's that kind of saccharides, and so that's what your gut loves to feed on. Your gut microbes love to feed on, and then from that's how those short chain fatty acids that Dr. Judy was talking about are produced, and all these other metabolites, both in absorbing B vitamins, but also, as you were speaking about in your previous segment, but also in producing B vitamins. And you also made the connection between iron and this sorts of things. So there was that one study we talked about a while back with Parkinson's disease, and that was one of the connections that they were making a link between the microbiome and Parkinson's disease, and that Parkinson's disease people with Parkinson's disease seem to have lower iron in the brain. And then they made that link to the microbiome, and that was because of the B vitamin production and absorption from the microbiome. These B vitamins are also essential in cellular metabolism, and then in your body to uptake in the right kinds of formats of iron. So it's this connection between the gut microbiome, B vitamins, and iron, all part of cellular metabolism. And so with that, inulin. Also, one of the other interesting things there's lots of interesting things about the importance of fiber in our diet, but another important thing about inulin is that it's also been shown to help with the absorption of calcium and magnesium. And so basically what it does is calcium and magnesium can be bound up by certain molecules that are in the foods we eat. And the inulin helps to basically release that calcium and magnesium so that it's absorbable from the body. So it allows the calcium and magnesium to get free from the molecules that the food the nutrients in our stomach is holding onto those calcium and magnesium molecules, and the inulin has been shown to help that release, as well as feed the microbes that also help to release those molecules. So it's like a combination of things that are going on. But the other wonderful thing when you use it in combination with our Bacillus coagulans is that you're feeding the Bacillus coagulans, which then help to produce the kinds of compounds like lactic acid that lactobacillus produces, which then helps to fortify and support these other positive microbes in the gut to help create an environment so that they become more prevalent and get the gut back into homeostasis. So when the gut's in dysbiosis, we have these kinds of microbes that produce a more alkaline environment in the lower intestine, and it's very hard to get that to shift back. But when you combine the prebiotic fiber, the inulin, organic inulin, with the Bacillus coagulans, you start to produce the kinds of metabolites that then support the rest of the positive microbes in the gut. And so it's like in addition to doing the things that it does by itself, it's also supporting these other microbes.
So interesting. And I've written some questions down because this is all kind of coming together for me, some other things that people might need to know. So everybody stay tuned. We're talking to Gabe Doe. Visit goodbrew.com, and that's BRU.com. Goodbru.com. Make sure you use promo code Tammy for a little discount. We'll be right back with Gabe Doe.
Did you know that a single collagen supplement could support your heart health, help protect against EMF exposure, and reduce inflammation all at the same time? Our preferred foundational collagen not only supports radiant skin and joint mobility, but also promotes heart health, reduces inflammation, strengthens hair and nails, provides added protection against the effects of EMF exposure, and so much more. Our favorite collagen is super absorbable and easy to take. Just 1 tablespoon in the morning and another in the evening for maximum benefits. Here's what our listeners have to say.
This collagen is so easy to take, I've noticed a huge difference in my hair and nails after just a few weeks.
Since I started using Tammy's preferred collagen, my joints feel more flexible and my skin looks smoother.
Try it today at naturalinspiredradio.com/collagen. When you purchase from Naturally Inspired, you get access to our group health coaching call and so much more. Go to naturalinspiredradio.com/collagen. Did you know that medicinal mushrooms are excellent for pets? Take our preferred pet health products for joint health, skin health, antioxidant protection, cell health, anti-aging benefits, gut health, liver support, cholesterol regulation, blood pressure support, brain health, anxiety relief, respiratory health, endurance and strength, anti-fatigue, and much more. Available in easy-to-take treats, great-tasting gravy, and our pet food blends.
Since adding mushroom dog food to my dog's diet, I've noticed a huge improvement in his energy and coat health. He's like a puppy again, even at 10 years old.
After starting my care on mushroom super sauce, her immune health and digestion have noticeably improved. She's more playful, and her fur has never looked shinier.
Learn how to get free shipping and how to join our monthly mushroom call. Text Tammy with questions or to order at 720-303-8868. Visit naturallyinspiredradio.com/mushroom. That's naturallyinspiredradio.com/mushroom.
Are you ready to stay informed and inspired 24/7? Tune in to Naturally Inspired Radio anytime, anywhere. Visit naturallyinspiredradio.com, or for the best mobile experience, download the Simple Radio app. Search for Naturally Inspired Radio, save it to your favorites, and click on the graphic to listen instantly. Catch live broadcasts, revisit past shows, dive into long-form podcast conversations, and discover rare, censored presentations by leading health experts. Plus, explore documentaries uncovering the hidden truths of occult and esoteric history. Stay connected, stay inspired. Naturally Inspired Radio is always at your fingertips. Tune in now. For health questions or comments, text Tammy directly at 720-303-8868. naturallyinspiredradio.com.
Just having a great conversation here with Gabe Doe from Good Brew. If you have yet to try Good Brew, you are missing out. Good Brew, GOODBRU.com. You head on over there, get yourself some Good Brew. You could use promo code Tammy, that's TAMMY. They get a little discount for being a naturally inspired listener. Gabe, welcome back. I want to dive into some of the things that have been going through my head during the break, because I'm sure you're well aware, because you follow the news, you follow all the MAHA stuff. And we've had a number of different announcements recently. And one of the things that's been coming out is this MTHFR gene that, you were just referencing when it comes to things like being able to process and whatnot. And you mentioned magnesium, gut microbiome, how it helps you absorb magnesium and calcium. 70% of the population's deficient in magnesium. I just wrote a piece on this on my Substack.
Wow. Yeah, I didn't know that, but I didn't know that many people were deficient in magnesium, but it's definitely a reciprocal kind of relationship between the gut microbiome and magnesium. So magnesium helps to support the gut microbiome in a positive way. So, right, there's things everything's going to support your gut microbiome. It's just whether they're going to support good microbes or bad microbes. And magnesium is a mineral that really helps to support the good microbes. The good microbes like magnesium, but they also, because they like magnesium, also help us to get more magnesium. That's kind of the way it works, right? So the magnesium helps if you take magnesium, or you're getting it from the food sources that you eat. It will help support your gut microbes, and they'll also help you get more magnesium as a thank you for that. So it's reciprocal in that way. So magnesium and calcium are both extremely important, and the gut microbiome has a dance with those molecules. They in that regard. So yeah, I didn't know 70% of people, but that also it makes a lot of sense on many different levels. But if you just think about sleep in and of itself, we know that there's a huge correlation between the gut microbiome and a healthy microbiome and how well we sleep. We also know that there's a huge correlation between magnesium and how well we sleep. So, if everything's working together, it's kind of like, a symphony, right? And you want a good gut, you want good magnesium, it's all like very much symbiotic with itself. Yeah.
Yeah, I think we tend to try to simplify things in health because I think that's kind of the way that the medical model has worked for so long. They kind of just tell you the surface stuff. It's like, hey, take this because it'll stop inflammation or whatever. But they never tell you all of the other things that how symbiotic in nature we are, and that you're affecting everything when you're treating the body. When you're talking about the body, everything is affected. So you have to coax it back into homeostasis, right? You got to set the stage for it.
Yes, and I also firmly believe that when we talk about, like you were mentioning genetics and some specific things about genes, I firmly believe that there's many things that allow our bodies to when something's important, we usually have redundancy. So some people have genetics that help them for many things, but let's just say omega-3 fatty acids. We know there's a gene that helps people. Some people uptake omega-3 fatty acids better than other people. But if you have a good microbiome, or you have a good healthy lifestyle, or you eat the right kinds of foods, that's going to make more of a difference than those genes. I mean, you can't absorb omega-3 fatty acids if you're not getting omega-3 fatty acids. And so I firmly believe that we're not all superhuman, right? Like so there's other elements, and I think the gut microbiome is a big one of those that takes up a lot of the roles of where maybe we don't have certain genes to do the job, or vice versa. But we do also know that, like with the gut microbes, that some of these roles that they play, our bodies do not do any of these jobs, and we know that they're so essential that they can find around the world different species of microbes. Because your gut microbiome is as unique to you as your thumbprint is. And then as you move away from different regions, it shifts even more. So you can actually look at populations and see what you can kind of track a person, where they come from and that sort of thing based on their gut microbiome. But if you look around the world, you can find that these different species of microbes, different ones, will all do the same job, because that job is so essential to life that we need it. Our bodies do not do some of these things, many of these things. And so that's also very important,
Mm-hmm. Can you talk briefly about cardiovascular health and gut microbiome?
Right. There's a lot going on with that. I mean, that's back to the short chain fatty acids is one part of that. But there was this study that our friend Josh actually pointed out to me not too long ago. And there was a study done in Spain with 100 bankers. And they found, and this researcher had studied these people for cardiovascular disease, and he found the highest correlation in causation for the heart disease amongst this cohort was a difference in their microbiome. So he related this massively back to the microbiome. Of course, that has to do with the metabolites and the way that the nutrients that we're absorbing as a result of the microbes that we have, and also the toxins. It doesn't just work one way. I'm kind of speaking about it in the positive, like what does the microbes produce that is a positive for our health, but it's the opposites there too. If you have the wrong microbes, they're producing toxins and different things that our body does not like, and which causes inflammatory responses, causes a breakdown of the gut lining, and causes inflammation and lack of nutrients and lack of B vitamins and all of these other things. So it doesn't work one way. It's like my old football coach said. He said, you're either getting better or you're getting worse. You're not staying the same. And that's the way it is with your gut microbiome. It's either good or it's bad, but it's not neutral. You don't have a neutral gut. You have either a bad one or a healthy one. So
yeah. That makes a lot of sense. Why don't you tell everybody how to take Good Brew? Because I want to make sure there's lots of new people listening today. I know that. So tell everybody how you take it. Do you have to take it in coffee? What time of day? All that stuff.
Right. Yeah. So it's very dependent on you as a person and as an individual. We always tell people to start with just a small amount, 1 scoop. And then if you're a 1 scoop person, you get twice as much basically in a container. And we have just as many customers who use 1 scoop a day as use 2 scoops a day, or we have a few people that even use more than 2 scoops a day. I use 2 scoops a day. So but start with 1 and see how that works for you. We even have people with really like digestive issues that they've never been able to solve, and Good Brews help them with these digestive issues, and they just use 1 scoop a day. You can use it in anything, basically food, drink, water. But what's nice is Bacillus coagulans is a natural probiotic naturally found in the soil and out in the open. It's a transitory probiotic, and a transitory probiotic means that we by nature get it through our diet, through the soil and that sort of thing. And the reason it can survive out in nature like that is because it's a spore. And when you take it as a spore, it survives through the stomach acid, which most of these other probiotics do not, makes it to the lower intestine where it germinates, and that's where it really helps to support your other gut microbes, in addition to doing some very specific things that it does. And that's also why it can survive in hot beverages like coffee or tea, because it's a spore. So it survives in juice, and the same thing. Like, you can't put probiotics in juice if they're not in a spore form like that. So the spore, until it gets inside of your body, it doesn't really want to germinate. And so you can put a scoop or two in your coffee, your yogurt, your oatmeal, water, whatever it is that you prefer. And some people, I think most people probably take it in the morning. I mean, use it in the morning. But, I also tell people to experiment with whether or not it makes a difference to you to use it like close to when you're at a meal or that kind of thing. Because you can imagine that the fiber, especially if you use, we have a lot of people where it really helps them with severe constipation.
Yes.
So if you can imagine, like, the fiber, one of the benefits of fiber is that it helps to absorb water into the lumina of the gut. And so if you take it with food, you could imagine that you're getting more of the benefits of the fiber in addition in response to, like, say, something like severe constipation. But everybody that really, gives us testimonials just talks about how over time it really helps them with regularity and healthier stools and all of that type of thing as well. So I just take it in my coffee every day, but I always say, experiment and see what works for you. Yeah.
Quick question. If somebody's been taking, like, if they've struggled with constipation their whole life, say, and they've been regular user of something like Metamucil or whatever, and they switch to Good Brew, should they start slower? Should they take more? Can you become like a little bit, tolerant to it? Or how's that switch going to be?
Well, if you've been taking something like Metamucil or something like that for a long time, that's going to have an effect on your gut microbes. So if you have something regularly in your diet, and Metamucil is psyllium husk, whatever, and that's not really something that we normally would eat as humans. Like, but it's not synthetic either. So yeah, you may have a transition because your gut microbes are going to start feeding on something else, and that could, change things. But I wouldn't really call it like a tolerance. I would just call it more of like a transition.
Okay, perfect. Everybody visit goodbrew.com. That's GOODBRU, goodbrew.com. Don't forget to use promo code Tammy. Thank you, Gabe. We'll see you next time. Thanks, everybody. We'll be back tomorrow.
Are you ready to stay informed and inspired 24/7? Tune in to Naturally Inspired Radio anytime, anywhere. Visit naturallyinspiredradio.com, or for the best mobile experience, download the Simple Radio app. Search for Naturally Inspired Radio, save it to your favorites, and click on the graphic to listen instantly. Catch live broadcasts, revisit past shows, dive into long-form podcast conversations, and discover rare, censored presentations by leading health experts. Plus, explore documentaries uncovering the hidden truths of occult and esoteric history. Stay connected, stay inspired. Naturally Inspired Radio is always at your fingertips. Tune in now. For health questions or comments, text Tammy directly at 720-303-8868. naturallyinspiredradio.com.
Nearly 40% of Americans struggle with a $400 emergency expense. An extra $300 a month can be the difference between stability and financial stress.
Are you feeling the pinch of rising expenses? Imagine what an extra $300, $500, or even $1,000 a month can do for you. Introducing a simple 3-step system designed to help you create a steady income without the overwhelm. Step 1, follow our easy-to-use plan. Step 2, take small, consistent actions. Step 3, stay motivated with weekly coaching designed to keep you on track and moving forward. Whether you're saving for a family vacation, paying down debt, or just looking for breathing room, this system is for you. You don't need special skills, just the desire to make change. Join a growing community of success stories today. Visit simpleincome.info. or text 720-764-7448.